Oh, goodness.
What is going on, everybody? Thank you for joining us for Season 2, Episode 13 of Retro Rewind. Man, it's been a while since we've all been together. Miz Tracey, how was your birthday, and what have you been up to?
Oh, it was great. And then I had my anniversary. We went to the casino. We actually stayed overnight, so we got to get away for a day. It was great. I've had a good time of late.
That is awesome.
Oh my God, my dog still thinks he's getting a thing.
He gets a treat.
When I start my streams, he usually gets a treat, and he is going to get one right now. Let me do that really quick. I'll mute for a second.
Such a beautiful puppy.
Oh, look at that. Look. Make him bounce his head on it and have a flower come out of the question mark box.
Bink.
I'm going to be right back, guys.
All righty. Ray, what have you been up to, my friend?
Just, gaming and watching. I've been watching the new Netflix Cyberpunk cartoon. Let's see. What else? Just playing games with you last night. Had a wonderful time playing Wreckfest last night. Of course, you guys see me. I got my team on. It is football day. My Niners are playing the Denver Broncos later on in the day, so I'm just getting pumped up, ready for some football.
I honestly, when I first saw that, I thought that was a hot dog scarf.
You thought it was a hot dog?
It looks like mustard and ketchup on the sides there. I don't know. I apparently need some more caffeine. I know. I see it now.
Oh, man.
Makes a lot more sense than a hot dog scarf.
I've been up to all kinds of stuff, playing all kinds of stuff. Ray just mentioned Wreckfest. I've been playing Sekiro, but my lord, I've been taking a beating playing that game. And hey, we have another host with us. He decided to join us.
Oh my God, did he show up? Whoa, what the hell?
How are you doing, Jeff? What have you been up to? I know you've been a busy man.
What have I been up to? Here, I can show you what I've been up to today. I don't know how to rotate my phone, so I'm just going to. This is what I've been up to today.
Whoa! That looks like a lot of retro right there.
Yeah, my mother's entire house is retro. We've been clearing out my mother's house, which is why I'm sort of in and out here. I'm just taking a 5-minute union mandated break. So
on. Well, I know that you went through the attic before in the closets and you found some good stuff. You found nothing today, huh?
Nothing today. There is
no retro.
I was hoping there was retro in the attic, and there's not.
Okay.
Well, sometimes.
Well, actually, I shouldn't say that. I'll get your opinion on something. My brother will have a fit, but who cares?
Live from Canada.
Ooh.
Okay, so there is an audio. What is this? Audio preview from 1978.
That is retro.
Gosh.
Wow.
That is retro.
Holy crap, man. You got some hi-fi there, I'm sure.
This one is for, let's see, People Weekly about the Beatles. This was 50 cents in 1976.
Oh, I would hold on. Hello, you hold on to that, man.
Yeah, that's definitely retro.
That is history.
Say just with inflation, that should be 480.
Equalizers from what year is this, Greg? Oh, May 19. Oh, you paid a whole $1 for this?
Wow.
1976.
I had a subscription; it would be cheaper.
So Ray to the Beatles. Ray said that Ray wants that Beatles people from 1976.
Yes.
You have to mail that to California.
Woo!
Hang on, what's this? Oh, I think, did you buy this for me so I could be a future scientist?
Oh, no.
You're a past scientist.
Oh my God, wait, look at that again. Look at that again. I fucking had that.
Did you really?
Yeah, I did.
Oh, wow.
I totally
Photographic
had that.
studio. What is that? Is that like a dark room you set up yourself?
Yeah,
It
develop
had
your
like
own
a little
negatives and make your own
microscope
things. I did that.
Wow.
So remember I told you that back in the 70s, I would go to the university. Like, this is the guy who dragged me to the university.
hold on.
Like, this is, remember you used to drag me down the MAC when you were doing those punch cards and things? Yeah, see? So this is the guy. This is him who dragged me to, back in the 70s when I was. Wait, what's this?
That was modern technology.
Wait. RP.
Cutting
you guys,
edge.
you remember RPM magazine?
It's a Canadian thing.
Oh, never mind. It's a Canadian thing. They're all American. So they
Yeah,
won't remember.
That's
We're
like
all like,
Wilson.
nope.
That's like Wilson. Okay, Miss Tracey. When you were a kid, did you ever go outside with your friends and play a game called Kirby? Kirby, not the NES game with the pink fluffy thing. No.
Very overused.
That's Kirby.
What's
Yeah.
Kirby?
Well, Wilson's not on here to describe it again.
He is
But
actually here. He's in the chat.
you kick a
Not
ball
this
at the
again, he
curb.
says.
Yeah, it's see, he says, "Ugh, not
We
this."
played
again.
a lot of like the ground as lava and pretending we were
Fortnite?
in Pokemon and Star Wars.
What is that, Jeff?
We're not really sure. Oh, ASCII art.
What is
Ass
happening,
art.
Jeff?
Did he say ass art? What did he say?
ASCII.
Oh,
Art. This
ASCII.
is how we drew pictures in the 70s on the computer.
Gotcha.
Jeff, are you
Is
going to
that
be?
Is that a giant penis?
Some robot.
Is that a giant penis?
Some
Woo!
robot.
Whoa.
It was phallic. I don't know. It was phallic.
Yeah, you know how much it costs to do a camel?
Yeah. Wow. Yeah. Jeff definitely did that art.
What's this say?
Google. It's a little program.
Yeah, a little program. Can you? I don't think you can see that.
Yeah,
No. You got some
this-
fans of of your pooch.
Yes, I
I
know he's adorable.
Not sure what the-
Self-portrait,
We're not sure what that is.
I don't know what it is either, Jeff.
Oh, this might be Morse code. Oh, here. Oh, you gotta. Where is it? You gotta. This is both telegraph and Morse
Hey,
code.
Jeff.
Jeff,
We gotta get our guest on, dude.
We
do.
have an
Oh, we have that?
Yes, we do.
Yes.
But I have to say this first, Jeff. Graphics Gear said that he would make ASCII art on the dial-up boards in the 80s and 90s.
That's what that is.
Yes,
That is what that is. It's
absolutely.
you don't have to spell it out.
Well, enough about us. Let's
American
bring out.
Standard Code of Interface and Interchange for those that don't know what it is.
Well, we're going to interchange. Well, that isn't going to work. Anyway, we're going to segue to our guest. Here we go, man. A lot of you may know this guy from within the community. Some of you may not, but we're going to get to know a hell of a lot more about him. I don't know call him Cloud Gaming Dad, Joe.
No.
Boom, here he is, though. We'll let him explain. Joe, how are you doing, sir?
How is everyone doing?
Hey, Joe.
Doing great, man. Doing great. Joe, we always start off by asking you a question, and it's usually the same for our new guests. What is retro and what does it mean to you, sir, before we jump into a whole bunch of questions for you?
What is retro? Well, I would say first off, retro is probably anything that gives you that kind of sense of nostalgia, regardless of time period, regardless of when it is. And to me, specifically when it comes to gaming, I really think of retro as, various moments in life, whether it was like playing Donkey Kong Country with my younger brother or playing like Star Tropics on the Nintendo with my mom and dad, or being in Baghdad, Iraq with a whole bunch of Xboxes, land together playing Modern Warfare,
Oh, not Halo?
No, not Halo.
Oh.
So like for me, that's really what I connected to is those moments in life that really bring you back to that time.
Okay, well, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself? We're gonna get into your background for sure, but where did gaming start for you? I know you have a channel. Tell us about that. Just give us the rundown about Joe and what you've been up to.
And what is your channel name? Because there seems to be a little bit of confusion going on about that.
Okay, we'll start with the channel name first, just to get that out of the way. So my channel, it was Cloud Gaming Dad, right? But as people may or may not know, there was or is another Cloud Gaming Dad kind of out there in the community, right? They were like active in the community and then they weren't, and now they're active again. And there was a bunch of confusion about like who's who. Like I had people reach out to me, hey, I'm trying to buy one of those sweet Stadia t-shirts. And like I messaged you, you never messaged me back because they messaged the wrong guy. So,
Oh no.
as people may or may not know, we'll probably get into this. I'm working on developing my own game with hopefully targeting to launch on the Stadia platform. And that's under an actual LLC company I formed called Downrange Games. So I just consolidated everything under that. So Downrange Games is where you can find me on Twitter, YouTube, downrangegames.com. You can find all the places to find all the things.
Cool.
So, what got you into game development, or what made you take the leap to try to develop something yourself?
So the game development thing, I actually had a soldier that worked for me, and using his like army money, that's what he went to college for, to get his degree in game design.
Mhm.
So I had a little bit of exposure to it, that type of thing. I really want to do it, one, because it's something I'm passionate about, and two, I want like a firsthand account of all the things we hear about from these developers. Like how easy it is to work with Google, how easy it is to port something to be on the platform. Like it's great that a developer will give us some insight as much as they can.
Mhm.
But I'd rather get the firsthand experience. And the only way I'm going to get that is if I bring a game to the platform. So
Nice.
That's very true. Now you mentioned Iraq, man. Well, thank you for your service. I appreciate that. And
thank you very much.
tell us a little bit about that. What was gaming like over there, man? I imagine you didn't get much time to do it.
Right. So it was super interesting because so I was like a technical guy. My actual job in the Army was like a electrical engineer. So people would blow up their Xboxes like on the regular, because the power difference, and they don't use a converter. They plug it in and then it's smoke.
It's fried. Yeah.
Yeah. So I was repairing a lot of Xbox power supplies when I did have some downtime. Obviously, internet connectivity. I mean, this is like early 2000s, so like cell networks weren't, what they are today, that type of thing. So everything we did was like LAN style. You get a whole 4 or 5 Xboxes, you plug them all together, and then we're playing LAN style team deathmatch Call of Duty when we have, a day or two, break from being out in the desert for hours on end or whatever the case may be.
Mhm.
Nice.
I just have to ask, what was it like out there? Was it competitive? Were you guys real competitive playing against each other?
I would say, yeah, we were pretty competitive playing against each other, especially being it was like kind of one of our only like downtimes or releases from being on patrols and stuff like that, looking for bad guys in the desert. So we definitely had some fun with it and definitely took it pretty serious.
Nice.
Yeah, I'm sure. So where did gaming start for you, man? What's the first game you remember picking up, and what was that like?
So I remember at like a very young age playing like tanks on like the Atari. So that was like super little. But some of my fondest memories, I mentioned it at the start, is really playing like Star Tropics with like my mom, my dad, my younger brother. I mean, I was probably 7, 8 years old, at the time, but those are probably my earliest memories. We had a Nintendo, we had a Super Nintendo, never really got into like the Sega stuff. My cousin had one, but we didn't. PS1, PS2, original Xbox 360, and then that's about where I left and jumped to cloud gaming, actually. So
Yeah, if you don't mind me asking, what brought you to cloud gaming? Because I know for at least me and a lot of people I've talked to, the ease of use just was compelling enough to drag me and many others back into gaming. What was it for you?
So I would say it's ease of use, and like I'm an uber nerd. Like I've got a Google phone, a Google computer. I had the, like the Google VR headset thing when they came out with it. I tried the Google Cardboard joint where you put your phone in it, so like I just like Google stuff. So when I heard they came out with the video game thing, I was like, oh, well, shoot, it's, not super expensive compared to consoles at the time. I'll go ahead and pick it up, try it out. So I got it about a month or so after it came out.
Joe, did you have a Google Glass?
No, they were out of my price range, Jeff.
Oh yeah. Jeff is an original glass hole, they're called.
Yep.
Interesting.
Jeff, what do you use yours for, by the way?
Paperweight?
Well, nothing since I've been in the process of moving, but I can still record video. I can still connect it to the internet through Wi-Fi. I can hotspot to my phone. I've done streams where I've actually had it on and I've captured the video from my phone and had it up through OBS. So it's, when people say, oh, Google's shutting it down, they shut down my Google Glass in 2014. 8 years later, I'm still using it. So
you're saying your Google Glass isn't dead?
And even if they say Stadia is going to, when all those people, I say, well, I still use my Google Glass. They shut it down 8 years ago. What do you say to that? And they're like,
Just like that, huh?
Right on. Jeff, since you're with us, man, I want to bring this up. I don't know how long you're with us, if you're with us for the rest of the time, but I wanted to bring this up because this is your right up your alley, man. This is a re-release of an old system. Check this out. Have you heard of the Mega 65?
I've heard of it. I haven't seen it.
All right. Well, this thing is pretty interesting. It is based off of an older platform, of course. It's for homebrew, a whole bunch of that kind of stuff, but it's got new ports on it. But the reason I really wanted to demonstrate and show this is because of an interesting fact in it. A guy tears this apart and he describes basically how it's put together, and it's pretty interesting. It's got a floppy drive. But as you can see, it doesn't show the floppy drive here. Let me pop over here real quick and look at that thing. So this is the inside of this Mega 65. And you've got brand new circuitry, brand new ribbon cables and all that. And then it's stretched over to a very old floppy drive. They no longer make floppy drives. So however many of these they made, they had to go source these. It's very, very interesting to me that they had to go back and find old new stock of 2004 or go rummaging for them.
I'm glad you got a little pause on the floppy disk so we didn't have to go through him smelling it again. That was so weird. He talks about the scent of it.
Yeah, Ray's looking puzzled. When you first start this video, this guy picks up the box and he goes, and he was going to talk for another 3 minutes about how it smelled, but he didn't, thank God. But anyway, I just thought that was super, super interesting. What could you do with that back in the day, Jeff? Is that the text-based games that you are so fond of?
Yeah, probably. Yeah, I would think so. A lot of games. I think, Ray, this. There was a lot of games that came out on floppies or multiple floppies, and so you run the installer, put in disk 2, put in disk 3, it installs into your hard drive. Ray would know that.
I was telling them back when I had like computer class, that's what each computer desk had something similar to that with the floppy disk, and we did our work. Like I said, I used to play Zork, was huge, and I used to have Zork games on floppy disk and put it in there. And it's just wow, it's just amazing because it's like, I mean, it's almost like looking at an 8-track, looking at and it's just weird, and I feel so old, man. But yeah, I mean, I still have in my garage, I have a case of floppy disk with games on it, and just so you know, underneath my desk that I'm sitting at, I actually have a computer that has a floppy disk. So if I wanted to plug it in and I have an old monitor, I could play some of those old floppy disk games. But yeah. Wow.
Well, people, earlier this morning, I watched Ryzak do his golf tournament, and dial-up was brought up about the noise that it would make, the ding, 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 and then you get a phone call and you drop and all that stuff.
That's called handshaking. Handshaking.
Yes.
Say that again, Jeff.
It's called handshaking when the one computer would handshake to the other. That's what that noise was. It's called handshaking.
Hey, Jeff, I don't know if you remember this, but I used to hear this all the time. You got mail. AOL back in the day. Hey, oh my God.
There's enough AOL discs to circle the moon and come all the way back to Earth.
Oh my God, those damn discs.
I collect those. I have that in MSN, because MSN used to take on AOL, and I don't know why I have like a a thing of all these discs, but yeah.
So to explain, back in the day, you didn't have an ISP. You had to have a modem, and it went through your phone line, and you had to pay for internet access.
You'd yell through the house, "No one pick up the phone! I'm on the
Yes.
computer!"
Yeah.
Yes. You'd go to download one song or one picture, and it would take 2 hours. You guys got it so easy, you have no idea.
Yeah, or you get like
It
an
would
hour
take
and a half
longer
for
to-
the 2-hour
oh.
download
No,
Yes.
no. You
phone
have to.
call.
They were all in emails. You had to then download all of the emails, which would take days. Then you had to chain them all together to get a picture.
Oh, that sounds way too complicated, Jeff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, that's funny.
There you go, guys.
Oh,
Oh my
Oh
god.
my goodness.
how many hours did that give you free, Ray?
Look at that. AOL 9.0 optimize
Oh my goodness.
for 50 days.
Optimized for commercials and pop-ups.
For ads. Yeah, lots of ads.
Mr. Urbanwild said, here's a fun fact about AOL. When you logged on, you were protected by proxy. They hid your location.
Hey,
Really?
SP, look.
Oh, that is
Oh,
a
my
stack
goodness.
of them.
Wow.
Well, minus those, we could still go around the moon and come back to the Earth, I'm sure. Use those as coasters or something.
Dude,
I don't know if I still have it, but years ago, I think I actually even tweeted it years ago. I found an invoice from the 90s, and I had to pay extra. I had to get the bonus. I had to pay extra for like, I think 3 hours of internet a day.
Oh my goodness.
Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's incredible.
So, yeah, and then I used to have a phone. I had one of those 100-foot 100-foot RJ11 cables, so I didn't have to disconnect. So if I was in the bedroom and I wanted to go to the living room, and I wanted to, if I was doing an IRC chat using the MIRC, do you remember those? I know.
Yes.
Shout out to Leo Laporte, still uses that for his chatting on his tech channel on twit.tv, but. So I didn't have to disconnect. I would have this long cable, so I could. And at my other house, people would come by, and there'd be this cable running through the house, so I could be downstairs and then go up to my bedroom when I wanted a late night chatting, and then downstairs.
Wow, that sounded a little creepy.
That escalated quickly.
There were no women on the internet in the 90s. So just saying.
That's true, Jeff. And if they said they were, it's suspect, wasn't it? I remember those chat rooms, man. That was crazy. Way back in the day, my brother would I'd call it going fishing. He'd go on the chat rooms until somebody was driving to come pick him up. I don't know. It worked for him. Worked for him. I told him one day he's getting picked up and never being brought back, but
Yeah, right? That's scary.
Always. Well, here is something interesting that's coming up. Most of us, or all of us, game. Some of us cloud game. And there's been a whole bunch of Steam Deck competition going on lately, or at least trying to enter the market and steal some kind of market share from them. Logitech G Cloud handheld officially revealed, launching in October for $349. I'd like to hear the panel's opinion on the price and what you, if you owned it, would use it for. I think for myself, which is funny, it's a G Cloud handheld. They don't mention Stadia. They mention xCloud and GeForce Now, but
they do mention Google Play. They did say some Google Play, yeah.
But I was just interested in what you guys think of the price and what you would use it for. I think if I had it, I would use it for emulation. I would do a whole bunch of retro stuff on it, NES, SNES, stuff like that. I don't think I would actually do too much cloud gaming, because it's cloud gaming. You're already all you need is a browser, and it's pretty. You can take it with you wherever you go anyway. So
I have zero use case for that. I have my phone. I
Yes.
have zero use case for that.
I think
349 is a bit pricey.
yeah, well,
I agree. And
it is pricey. I'll tell you the specs real quick. It's got the Qualcomm Snapdragon 720G, octa-core, 2.3 gigahertz, LPDDR4, 4 gigabytes. So 4 gigabytes of RAM, 64 gigs of storage, 2.3 gigahertz processor speed at the octa-core, and a Qualcomm Snapdragon GPU. So go ahead.
With those specs, there's like options you could get that are like half the price. Whether it's
Correct.
like the Retrocade is one that comes to mind. Heck, even the Odin, which is pretty nice.
It should be Wi-Fi 6. It's 60 hertz. My phone is 120 hertz.
True.
So
well, like Jeff was saying, he's got a phone. I think anybody that would have like a tablet, or even, I mean, if you have a portable screen that can open up Google, I don't know, you really don't need this. But and there's also much cheaper alternatives for emulation on the go as well. Like Joe was saying.
I would be interested in it, but I just think the price is too. I think the price is too high for what they're offering. If it was 200, 250, I would, you know, I would
think about it.
But nah, because it's honestly, it's
well, they're marketing this towards cloud gaming, of course, but AAA gaming, and I don't know, the stats here don't stack up to the yeah, I mean, if you're looking at a Steam Deck and then you come check this out, you're going to keep looking at other Steam Decks. Yeah, I don't think you're going to
save a couple of $100 and just get you a Steam Deck.
Well, and the other thing I see that I know a lot of the more budget-friendly options like have like clean HDMI out. So like if you wanted to like stream, let's say, you know, you could run out of the, you know, like the Odin, for example, you could plug an HDMI right into the Odin, plug it in your stream, and you can play on the, you know, on the small screen. Well, streaming if you wanted to do that, I guess.
If you're a Logitech fanboy and you like Logitech stuff and you've got, you know, the mice and you've got the whatevers, all the other Logitech stuff, I guess this would just be a natural. You go like, oh, I'm a Logitech guy. I'm going to get this because I like all the Logitech tech.
And that's the only guy who's going to buy this.
Probably.
I mean, honestly, dude, I have like my phone, I have Shadow PC installed on my phone, so I can also get other apps and stuff. But like I said, I like the design, I like the concept.
It does look cool.
It looks nice. Like I said, if the price goes down, I'd probably, you know,
I mean,
a collector.
I think it's the price. I mean, I'd like to see it like sub 200.
Yes,
you know, because you can get a Switch Lite for what, $199.
Yes, exactly. And
you know, which has like way from a feature standpoint. You know, you're gonna have a lot more features out the box. Whereas like, sure, if you're someone that tinkers or wants to try a whole bunch of emulators, like maybe, but not for $349.
I mean, if I didn't want to like use my phone and I'm at the airport or something like that, or you know, my dentist, he has Wi-Fi, or my Subway, you know, has Wi-Fi, and I wanted to sit there and, you know, play some games. Yeah.
Well, Primo has a point too. It is good to see a device that's dedicated to cloud be released. It shows that cloud's going a little more mainstream, which is awesome.
True that, but also Primo, you got to also think of a consumer too. You got to, if it don't make dollars, it don't make sense. So you know,
that's a great way to put that.
I gotta keep it real, homie. I think that's great, but you also got to look at, you know, gas is expensive where I'm at, and son, you know, he's gonna be going to college soon.
So Mr. Urban World, who's in the chat, and thank you, Mr. Urban World. Since we discussed the Logitech one, he is showing me an actual competitor to the Steam Deck, which is interesting here. I'm going to zoom this in a little bit.
Yeah, so this is made by the same guys that make the Odin. Yeah. This is their follow-up to the Odin, which, if you followed any of that, there's been like some shipping concerns and some like release stuff.
Oh wow, that's got Alder Lake in it? No way.
Yeah, on the surface, this looks like an excellent device.
Yeah, no doubt. M.2. See what it is. An Alder Lake U Pentium 8505 integrated graphics. Doesn't say what the GPU is. 8 gigabytes of RAM, way better than the Google, and it's cheaper.
Wait, that was better than what was the other one?
4 gigs of RAM. This has got 8.
Wow.
8 gigs of dual channel. So a lot of games.
That one doesn't have Wi-Fi 6. This one does.
What is that, Jeff?
Whoa!
This is an old record player, some sort of old
It's this cassette.
Will you stop fronting? You know that's your record player. You put
Hold on, we're gonna get it full screen. We're gonna get it full screen. It's got a very colorful rainbow on it.
Jeff, you know you used to don't front, Jeff. You know that when you was a little boy, you used to put records on there and play it. So stop
Probably,
fronting.
right?
No, not mine. I don't know.
Was it mine?
That's Jeff's. That
Was it
belongs to
mine?
Jeff. That belongs
Could
to
have been
you.
mine.
Look at all the denials. It ain't mine. It's not. I didn't watch. I didn't listen to
Smile. He
it.
knows that was
This one.
his. He knows that was his.
Oh, that's funny. But yeah, this one does look compelling. USB 4.0, 3.5 jack. It's got RGB LEDs. That's funny. Full controller support. This is actually compelling. 120. Now that is a way better thing than the other one. This has got 128 gigabyte NVMe plus SSD and the micro SD card slot.
Both of them though are 1080p though, 1920 by 1080. So they're both 1080p.
Okay, so that's the black Intel version. Let's look at the AMD just real quick. Here's what the AMD is. It's also got 8 gigabytes of dual channel DDR5 RAM, RDNA 2 GPU. That's fantastic. And the Medicino Zen 2. I don't know. What do you think, Joe? Do you think the AMD would be better than the Intel? Because the RDNA 2 sounds fantastic.
Yeah, the AMD might like long term may just hold up better.
Right. Yep. And it's got a 1080p screen too, 6-inch LCD. I imagine you can emulate a whole bunch of stuff on these as well. But yeah, that's a very compelling alternative there. That's pretty darn cool. And then moving right along, we like to use some of the articles from Retro Dodo. They do a pretty good darn job. And as you were just saying, Joe, that the price makes it a little less compelling because you can get a Switch for $200. And I've missed out on Zelda and I've missed out on Mario because I refuse to buy a damn Switch. But I kind of need to at this point. But this is going to make me probably break down and do it. We get another a sequel to Breath of the Wild. Have any of you guys experienced Breath of the Wild? And what are your thoughts on that game?
Yes.
Simply amazing, breathtaking, awesome.
Very well put. I am a huge Zelda fan, as you can see from my necklace that I wear every single day with the Triforce on it. I really, really enjoyed Breath of the Wild. At first, I was like, this is so different from the other Zeldas, but then I was just in love with it. It really is a beautiful game. So I am excited for more.
It's weird because my daughter is Nintendo and my son is like Xbox and PlayStation.
Mm-hmm.
And they're just two different gamers, and this is the stuff she loves, you know.
I love the art design. It looks amazing. I've yet to.
He jumps off the cliff and goes flying through the clouds and going. I mean, it's like wow.
Yeah, it does. It does look incredible. But like Miz Tracey was saying, the mechanics are vastly so different. You gotta, you can't really compare it to the other Zelda games at all. Is that a Slinky?
It's a legit Slinky, like a
Oh,
real
wow.
Slinky.
Wow, Jeff, you didn't straighten this one? Now, how does a Slinky work, Jeff? You have to let us all know because some of us are very young.
Yeah.
Dude, I'm so mad. My sister, man, she bent my Slinky all up, so it doesn't go.
Oh, that's the worst. You get a bend in your Slinky.
Yeah, I mean,
Especially when your sister does it. That's embarrassing.
Yeah,
I used to have to go down the stairs. Oh, there we go.
Oh, it did. It went down the stairs.
Too wide of stairs.
Now, if that's not retro,
Yeah,
I don't know
there you
what
go.
is.
Hey, there we go.
It's Slinky.
Kinda.
It's Slinky. I forgot the rest of the jingle.
I don't know. That's all I know is Slinky.
It's a Slinky, it's a Slinky, it's a wonderful toy. Slinky, Slinky, more fun for girls and boys.
Yes.
Hey.
Oh, wow.
What's wrong with you people? What's wrong with you people?
I'm sorry, Jeff. I'm old.
Primo says it's an open world looter shooter without guns in the new Zelda.
Oh, yeah.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
it is. I would. Yeah, absolutely. But I'm excited for the next one. I haven't even played the first one, but I love Zelda. And I think the direction they went was pretty incredible. I need to definitely jump into that game.
Do it.
Now, somebody did something that was pretty damn fantastic. Let me remove this for just a second.
Oh, I can't wait. Woo,
So,
love this.
a guy, he wanted to see what Mario Brothers would look like in Unreal 5. We're going to check out this article, and then I'm going to play the video. So this guy, all by himself, he decided he wanted to make a proof of concept of an RTX Mario in Unreal 5, and it looks freaking phenomenal. Now,
Not with Nintendo.
yeah, not with Nintendo, not with their permission either. So if you look in the description of the video, he's got like a whole bunch of disclaimers and stuff. But Mario looks a little demonic. But other than that, I love this.
I love it.
This direction. So here
I love
it
Dark
is.
Mario.
Let me get that just a little bigger. There we go. So there's what Mario looks like. And you ever wish for a modern twist on Super Mario Brothers created in Unreal Engine? Well, we got you covered. We recently alerted to a new video posted by Funky Zite Games that had us foaming at the mouth for more realistic Nintendo game. So this is really cool. I played around in Unreal 5 and made a showcase for a Mario game that I always wanted to play. So let's check this out, man. And I think he did a fantastic job. I'm not going to play the audio because there's no Mario music anyway, but there is sound effects. But let's go ahead and play this. Check this out. The lighting looks incredible. You can tell it's RTX when he hits the thing and the light goes out. It immediately gets dark. It just looks amazing.
Yep.
And I would play this.
I love the shadows.
Yeah, the level design is a little bit reminiscent to the Crash Bandicoot games. You're kind of on a narrow path that's kind of on rails a little bit. But look at this.
It gives
I
me
love
some
that when he gets
Donkey
that.
Kong vibes too, man.
Yeah.
For sure.
It looks so cool, man. I wish we could see him going down one of those pipes too, what that would look like. But look at this.
Oh my god.
Boom, there goes that
Isn't
Koopa.
Wow.
And then here's
This is
here's a
little dark
Yoshi.
here.
Oh, he burnt
Jimmy.
Yoshi alive.
Oh my god, dude. Yeah. Barbecue Yoshi. I don't know about that.
Yeah, I don't know about that either, man.
Look at this right here.
Boing. And then he does a little a cliffhanger cutscene here. Just amazing art, amazing talent. I hope this guy gets a tap on his shoulder and gets a job.
Here we go. I'm gonna slap you.
And you know why Mario's so pissed? Because the princess is in another damn castle. You know why.
Yes.
Yeah, but he didn't have to take that on Yoshi.
Yeah, he didn't have to take it out on Yoshi, did he?
Yoshi's like, oh, he's gonna rescue me. No, I'm not.
So go give this guy a subscribe if you liked what he did, man. He deserves support for sure. At Funky Zite Games, man.
He needs a job, is what he needs.
Yeah, I hope they give him a bump, man, because that looked incredible. I would play through that game, man. I'd pay $60 for that.
Would be,
Hell yeah.
No, that would be a hit. Like,
And knowing firsthand experience, like the level of work that went into even that small portion,
Oh,
there,
yeah.
right.
you know, like you can't. I mean, speaking from my own experience, I've rebuilt my character controller probably 5 times now.
Oh wow! Tell us a little bit about that. What I know nothing about the game that you're working on. I don't know if you have.
I actually watched a video of him. So if you go to his channel, his YouTube channel, he was doing videos making and putting the game together.
So, right on. Well, actually, in the description is a link to his actual website and his channel. But if you could let us know just how did you come up with a proof of concept? What was your idea, and how has it been formulating that idea?
So I went the crash and burn method, right? So I went through 5 different prototypes before I decided on A, game style, B, an art style, and finally got to where I am now. So we started out with like a first-person shooter type game. We built that out a little bit. I didn't like it. There's a lot of first-person shooters out there, so I moved on. Then we started to go like top-down style, like top-down RPG style, very retro-like, which was cool. But I kind of shelved that. We'll kind of wait for that. Now it's going to be kind of like RPG dungeon crawler style is what we're going with the polygon art style. So it's all kind of like low poly art. So not as simplified as like Minecraft, but not as detailed as, Breath of the Wild. Somewhere in the middle is kind of where we're at. we're probably going to have 3 gameplay modes when we get to it. So there's going to be like a raid feature, which is going to be like our multiplayer feature, which we're working on. Which I'm working on building out. So like a traditional, like if you think like World of Warcraft, where like all your friends get together and you do this huge raid on a dungeon, like we'll have that for a multiplayer feature. There'll be a single player campaign. Where you can kind of like see how fast, you can speed run the various dungeon levels, that type of thing. Yeah, so the character controller for me, really it's all about the feel, that I feel like that's what makes or breaks a game. When you have a controller in your hand or you're using mouse and keyboard, how does it feel? People like Breath of the Wild because it feels a certain way. People like, old school Mario because of the nostalgia and the way it feels, when they play it. So I've messed around with as far as like being able to free move your camera and then being able to move your player with another joystick type situation, and just some different mechanics as far as getting the controller, the player controller down. But every Wednesday, 9 p.m., you can catch me doing devlog streams. So give you some behind the scenes, and end of the week here, I should have at least the first player vertical slice of a level online where you could go on, plug a controller in and play it.
That's fantastic. So what are you using to build this game?
So it's all built in the Unity engine. So they have a partnership with the Stadia team, with Google. So like once everything's all done and the proof of concept's done and I submit the dev application, essentially they'll give you the keys so you can access their SDK and that type of thing and start to actually like integrate. And, I could test it with one of the actual Google controllers. Most of my testing has been done with like the Luna controller, a 360 controller, or a PlayStation controller, because they can just plug directly in. The system picks them up. For the Stadia controllers, you need to have the Stadia SDK for all the functions of the controller to work.
So assets being put in your game, do you have to build them yourself, or do you have a list of assets you're able to use, or how does that work exactly?
So there are free assets. However, because this is like a serious passion project for me, I mean, I had to like register an LLC and the whole 9 to like bring this to light. So, which is not cheap where I live. So I purchased assets. I found an artist that I liked. I found an art style that I liked, and I purchased all the artwork for commercial use.
Nice. Love it, man. Love it. Yeah. So some people can, when somebody has a passion project like yours and they want to create everything, it takes years and years and years and years, man. It's really, really good that you found a good artist that you wanted to work with, man. That's amazing.
I mean, right now I've got like 3 different characters you could play from the start. I've got 3 base characters, and then you can change like, sex and complexion and all sorts of different, what their appearance is, a little bit of character customization there. There's over 18 different enemies. We've got 8 different bosses. Like 7, when it's all said and done, it'll be at least 7 distinct dungeon areas that stand on their own, at least initially.
Nice.
That sounds amazing, man. Yeah. So what was your favorite console that you've owned? You probably had multiple.
Favorite console? That is a tough one. I would honestly, I would probably say the Nintendo, which I know is probably like, for like the Nintendo, but like I have like the retro Nintendo, the little tiny one, it's got all the games on it that I play from time to time. But like, I just have some of my fondest memories, playing with my younger brother, playing with my parents, playing, just with that thing, you get your little 3-foot cord and you're doing like this, like jump, come on, yeah, everyone laughs because they remember doing that,
Did you blow into the cartridges?
Oh, of course.
That's how you got him to work, of course.
Yeah.
That's how you got him to work, so I would probably say the Nintendo. Just because it was like my first, like I remember tanks on the Atari as like a real young kid, but Nintendo, like I wholeheartedly remember. I remember Duck Hunt and having the little dance pad type situation that plugged into it or whatever. But yeah, definitely the Nintendo for sure.
Okay, I'm going to share my screen real quick because Ray brought up blowing in a Nintendo game. I got a video. It's about 3 or 4 minutes to watch, and this is exceptional. First of all, it's going to give you information about Super Mario Brothers for the NES that I had no clue about this. Let me know if you guys had any clue. But there's also a glitch that you can do by swapping cartridges of of the NES Mario Brothers with Tennis, and then swap them around. I'm going to show you something really interesting. But the thing I did not know, though, if you're playing Mario and you get to like World 6-1 and you run out of lives and it says game over, you know, and you basically have to start over. If you hold the A button and hit start at the same time, you start at 6-1. You don't start back at the beginning. You start at the world you just left. I did not know that. So I like beat Mario the old fashioned way. I never used that trick because I didn't know about it. But anyway, I shared my audio. There may be an echo just for a moment, or possibly there will be. Give me just a second. I'm going to share audio. Check this out.
Here's a fun thing you can try. Get out your old NES, pop in Super Mario Brothers, and turn it on. Then pop out the cartridge without turning off the console and pop in Tennis.
This is
Use
wild.
the reset button to start the game, start a new match, and play for a few seconds. Make sure that the music has stopped playing. And
It only works with these two games.
Afterwards.
He explains why, but it only works with these two games.
Then pop out this cartridge
Hold on.
without turning off the console
What game?
and put Super Mario Brothers back in. Using the
Super
reset
Mario
button
Brothers and
to speed
Tennis.
up. Then
Alright.
hold A and press start. World 9-1? What?
This is a great channel. Go give this guy a
So there's
sub.
lot to
It's
take in
amazing.
At once here. So let's take it one step at a time. Holding A while pressing start at the title screen is a real feature of the game.
I did not know
Its
that.
intended mechanic is to let you restart at the start of a world you were in if you had a game over. For example, if you got a game over in level 6-3,
Very
hold
interesting.
A while pressing start at the title screen, you would start at level 6-1.
I did
Step
not
one.
know that.
I didn't either, man.
This means
That would've helped so
somehow the
much.
game Tennis
Right?
is corrupting this value.
Dude, that kills me.
Start at some random world.
Doesn't it? I mean, think of how easier that would have been to beat this game when I was a kid.
In the game, which means you can get to world 9, worlds A through Z, and a bunch of level numbers that use glitched tiles instead of numbers or letters.
Very interesting.
The way this corruption works and how it is allowed to happen is very interesting. So we'll take a deep look into exactly.
I'm not going to play the whole video, but just
And
a
the
couple,
fact
one
that
more minute.
Tennis is pretty much the only game that allows this is a very big coincidence.
Yeah, I want you to see how it's done.
Quite bizarre requirements to get this to work. The biggest question that really comes up is, how is one game able to even affect the other at all? How can data be written to memory by one game, stay there when no game is in the console, and then be read by the second game? Well, this is why it helps to eject the game out of the console without turning it off first. When data is
Absolutely,
written to
Mr.
memory,
Barrow.
it is stored on some sort of RAM chip.
Wait,
The
what
RAM
did they
chip
tell
needs
us?
to be receiving power from the
That wasn't in the manual, was it?
properly. The moment that the RAM chip loses power, the data it holds starts to decay. And by decay, I mean that it slowly starts to convert into some default value that corresponds to the chip's resting state, which can be different per chip and even per memory cell on the same chip. However, this process happens slowly, so if power is lost only for a small amount of time, the chances that any data value becomes lost diminishes.
So basically, what the gist is of it is that you use the Tennis without letting that chip reset its code or go back to a resting state. And when you get to that part in the Tennis and you pop that out and pop the other one back in, when you hold A to go to the level you were just at, the game gets confused with the data values from the other game, and it just generates whatever to put you whatever level. So you could be in -1 world or whatever. It's just, but the most interesting thing that I took out of that was that you could restart like a continue after you lost all your lives. Personally, I would never, like, if I would have been mortified if somebody walked up and ejected my game while it was like on. I would have
for
thought
sure.
you were hurting it or something.
Right.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Yeah, I agree. This is similar to how a Game Genie works. It's just making a hex change to the memory.
Yeah, it's really, really interesting how that stuff works, man, and the little tricks and workarounds they've got. Now, I know that the Game Genie did something similar, with the values and stuff, and to make cool, interesting stuff happen. But
God,
That's such a
no.
bummer, though. Like, I was only allowed a certain gameplay time, so like, I never got very far in anything because I had to shut down everything when I was done. So being able to
yeah,
restart would have been nice.
it would have, man, because
Right.
I could regularly get to like the world 8, but couldn't like get much further than that or whatever it was, and it was like the last set of levels, and I don't know, that would have helped so much. I remember getting to the last Bowser dude, and the way he'd throw those damn things, you'd have to go under him, or oh man, it was rough. That would have helped so much. But the reason I asked you, Joe, of what your favorite console was is because a lot of people will say that Nintendo 64 was their favorite console. And the reason usually why is it comes up almost every episode of Retro Rewind is GoldenEye. A lot of people have so many fond memories of playing multiplayer with their friends and stuff. But the reason I bring it up today is because GoldenEye officially coming to the Switch via Nintendo Switch Online. I wanted to know your guys' thoughts on this. Do you think
Excitement? Oh, we're still echoey.
So Nintendo revealed that they are adding a wide number of Nintendo 64 titles to the Nintendo Switch Online, including the much anticipated GoldenEye. It was rumored it would eventually come to the Switch, even though you'll need the Nintendo Switch Online to access it. Now, what I think is going to be interesting is if it holds up. What are your guys' opinion on that? Because it was very low frames per second. It was revolutionary for its time, and I had a hell of a lot of fun with it. But do you think people are going to pick it up and have the same fun today? Is I guess my question.
I think from a nostalgia,
We're really echoey
standpoint,
still.
What's that?
Yeah, can you get out of that?
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that. Yeah.
There we go.
Yeah.
So go ahead.
I think from a nostalgia standpoint, it'll do great. However, I think, like Ray talks about how, one of his kids is into Xbox and PlayStation and the other one's into Switch. Like, his kids are going to see GoldenEye and be like, what is this? They're not going to be very impressed, where like Ray may pick it up and love it, Right. So I think for like people in our, general age demographic here on the panel will probably really enjoy it. But for a lot of like your quote unquote younger gamers, I honestly don't think they're the target market for this,
Yeah, somebody that's major into Call of Duty is going to jump into it and go, what is this? I bet. Yeah.
Exactly. GoldenEye, kind of said it for multiplayer. And then I think when Halo came along, Halo took it to a whole nother level. And so it's innovation. That's what games do. They innovate. But me, I think I agree with Joe 100%. Like me, like the old guys or casual players. And there's young. I know there's a lot of young guys that appreciate some of the older games as well that'll get into it. But they brought GoldenEye already back on certain platforms, or golden eye-ish type games, and some of them did well, some of them did not do too well. I know, what was it? Perfect Dark.
Yeah.
Perfect Dark was pretty much a futuristic GoldenEye.
Yep.
And they tried to bring it back, and it's not as
well. It looks rough by today's standards, but the character models and the faces were so good for the 64 for that time.
Yeah,
like it literally looked like Pierce Bronson running around.
You know what it is? It's also the TVs are different than what the TVs were back then. That's why I have the old TVs in the garage, and I can hook up and get that feeling back into it. In which my son goes,
Say, hey man, you need to absorb that warmth. But from the screen
on a 75-inch TV, it looks ugh.
Yeah, and you can't. Go ahead.
A lot of the younger people are like, "Oh, the graphics just look at the graphics," and we always say you can't look at old stuff with today's eyes, but they do.
Or today's
right?
TV.
My kids and Ray's kids and Tracy's kid, they all, yeah. And if we're not all sitting in the same room and playing together in the same room,
Yeah,
And
it's
not
different.
only that, but a lot of young kids didn't see GoldenEye. What is GoldenEye?
Yeah.
GoldenEye was a
Never
movie.
saw the movie.
Those characters,
Yep.
the
Unless you're a
villains.
James Bond fanatic,
I
you don't have
love
any clue. Yeah.
No,
Right.
exactly.
What the problem is people are gonna play this, and then they're gonna play it, like, a couple times for the nostalgia, and then they're never gonna touch it again, and then the servers are gonna die, and it's gonna be over.
Yep. It could.
Right
It
now,
could.
I could see, which who knows if they would ever do something like this, but if it started out with kind of the nostalgia feel, and then if they updated it to kind of bring it to today's
Yes,
standards, I could see like a huge trajectory.
Yeah, well, that's what I
for
was
that,
wondering if
you
they
know?
were gonna up the frame rate or whatever. But I imagine it's not. It's not a remaster. It's not a reimagining. It's just
there is
a port.
There is homebrew games out there, which GoldenEye has been. A lot of guys have advanced this game. You can go to your flea markets or find it somewhere or even online. There is where they upgrade it. There's RAMs and ROMs and emulators and stuff like that where they've like enhanced this game. But I played emulators, but GoldenEye, I did not want to play that on the emulator. I like playing the original version of it. But like I said, I have a Nintendo Switch. I'm very open to take a look at it. I would love to play a demo.
Yeah.
Yes,
Absolutely.
that'd be a good idea.
Play a demo to see what it's like, and if I like it, then I'll buy it. I'd play it. I played a couple of times.
I'd love to be able to dock the Switch and play, quad
Yeah.
player
Oh,
quad
yes.
screen, like
Yeah.
get that real kind of nostalgia feel versus like online, crazy multiplayer situation. I mean,
No doubt. And like you were mentioning earlier, Joe, about how you wanted your controls to feel natural or nostalgia-esque, I think the latest games that Atari has been releasing are fantastic examples of that. They've really knocked it out of the park to feel retro, yet to be new with new mechanics and still be simple as well.
Right.
I've really, really enjoyed what they've been doing. So I can't
it.
wait to see how everything turns out, man. Now, Ray, have you heard of you've heard of Soulja Boy, right?
Yeah. I remember he had a
console.
Yes,
he had a couple of them.
yes, he had a handheld and he had a straight off Microsoft knockoff. Oh God, what's he doing?
Yeah. So, all right, I would never suggest sending Soulja Boy or any. Don't send these people money. Just don't do it. But they're releasing a product after all. After a long time, people called this a scam for the longest time. But the TDR Pocket 2 has officially released. It says back in 2021, Soulja Boy himself revealed that he was releasing yet another games console. Now, what's funny is that he said that he was teaming up with Atari. He said he was a whole bunch of stuff. This dude said all kinds of stuff. None of it was true. But anyway, he was releasing yet another games console. Not the one that looked like a fake Xbox, but a handheld that will change the game, also known as the TRDR Pocket. Long story short, they said it was brand new when in reality they purchased an old mold of the Retroid Pocket from China. It flopped due to misleading false advertisements, lies regarding Soulja Boy being CEO while selling out to Atari and it being a genuinely bad product. We know this because we reviewed it and it was one of the worst handhelds we have ever tested.
Dude, honestly, you go to the flea markets in the back, like the flea markets where I go, and you got all these like knockoffs. I mean, I actually bought a couple of them, and they're just knockoffs, and they're like horrible games on it.
Yeah, they're all pirated copies of Nintendo games and all that stuff. They're all bundled together on them. And the worst part about buying a product like this is the firmware. You're never going to get any aftermarket support at all. Like they're never going to release, like, let's just say that in the emulation, the audio's messed up. Well, that's what you've got for the whole life of the system because they're never going to update the chipset or firmware or anything. Usually they're, but don't give Soulja Boy or any of his stuff any money. Don't do it.
Those better be like $5.
Yeah. Oh, they're not. I'm sure they're $50 to $100 for these handhelds.
I think that goes back to what we were talking about earlier with like the Logitech handheld and like we all, most of us have this in our pocket. Like why, like a Thorless in the Game Sir or the Razer Kishi or whatever your, controller interface of choice is, and you're off and running. You don't.
I honestly think this should have came out a little bit later, and it coming out now. There's already enhanced features already on handheld games that are out there for the higher price.
And Soldier Boy just put his name on it and upped the price. That's all he did. It was
Right.
technology and product. Like, he didn't sit down to design anything or to have any conversations. He was like, he found a drop shipper or a manufacturer and was like, put my name on it. Let's do it. And it made him a lot of money right off the jump. But
Yeah.
You go online, you could buy these systems, these handhelds in bulk, go sell it at the flea market. That's what these guys do. Now you want to slap somebody's face or name on it or whatever. Sell it.
If you want to know what we're talking about, just go to AliExpress and you can see buy 500 units and you can have your face and name on it. Like,
yes,
yeah, that's all they did. Absolutely.
Yeah.
But yeah, don't give him any money. Don't do it. A lot of people got like refunded way later, but yeah, it's don't do that, man. Definitely don't do that. Let's see. I've met people who watched Blade Runner for the first time recently, and they were not very impressed with it. When I asked why, they said they had seen all the FX before and were not impressed. Oh, wow.
Interesting.
Wow, man. I was like blown away when I first saw Blade Runner, man. I wanted to I want to be in that time. I want to live like that, man. And I still do.
Well, I think that's one thing I've really enjoyed in the recent week or two is with the Cyberpunk anime coming out. It's in the same Night City that the game's based in, so you can find like various locations from the show.
Oh, that's awesome.
Within Night City itself, so you can find David's apartment. You can find some other places, which I've had a ton of fun just like wandering around Night City trying to find these backdrops of shots from the anime and that type of thing.
That's amazing, man, that they put that much detail in, because Night City is an amazing place, and now they've done some real major world building with the cartoon, so I can't wait to watch all of it. Absolutely, man. But all right, Jeff, you are with us, sir. We were going to have Miz Tracey start this. And I think PapaBear Gaming is going to be joining us here real soon as well.
Did you see if he sent you
I will.
or something?
Yeah, I will check. But all right, Jeff, kapow. If you want to start naming this stuff off, I'm going to go check my messages.
You're going to have to remind me because I did it yesterday.
Oh, well, if you can't...
I can't see. It's very small. I'm on my phone today, so.
Okay, well, we'll have Miz Tracey read them then.
All right. Oh, is that okay?
I can't see him.
We're going to start with...
Hey, Jeff, I don't want to look up your nostrils, dude. Could you leave? Jesus Christ, man. Either that or get some hair trimmers, brother.
We'll start with today, but back in 1997. So on the 25th of September, 1997, we have the King of Fighters on the Neo Geo in the U.S.
I put this in because Will's a big Neo Geo guy, so.
Yes, I am, and I got it mixed up. My fault, Miz Tracey. Can we start over? I had the wrong one up.
Okay. We're going to start with October 5th of 2000. Wow, okay. Ogre Battle 64.
Why are we starting with today?
Jeff, I got this backwards, bro.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
We start with this one.
Yeah, okay. So we are starting with I was completely wrong. So, King of Fighters, you say. For the Neo Geo. Let's check this out. I love the Neo Geo. I think a lot of their games are fantastic. Metal Slug being one of them. That's one of my favorites.
Awesome game.
Great game.
I was a huge SNK gamer, Ikari Warriors.
Now, the fantastic thing about this system is you could get a memory card and you could play on the arcade on your way home from school or on your way to school. But you had to be rich to have this console. So I did not. But if I did have it back in the day, I think I would have been a little a little unimpressed eventually, just because I'm not a big fighter guy, and like all their games are fighting games. Almost all of them are. Let's try to get some. There we go. It's very Street Fighter 2 clone-esque, you know.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Like a lot of these games were very similar.
Oh my God, just me and my roommate screaming at each other. Take that, motherfucker!
You cheat!
Yeah. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Yeah, we outlawed that move. You're not allowed to do that move.
Button smasher, button smasher.
Or if it was GoldenEye, it was Screen Peeker.
Oh
yeah.
God, yes, yes.
Oh man, this does look like Street Fighter, man, so much. But this was top of the line back in the day. You got this in the arcade, and the only way you got it at home was with the Neo Geo. I couldn't spend $2,000 on a game and $1,000 on the system. But
I think I said this before, but me and my roommate was gonna go half. I think he had 300, I had 300, and but then I said, okay, but when we move out, who's getting the system? So yeah, came very close to getting it.
Absolutely. All right, hold on just a second.
Oh,
we have our second guest. We have PapaBear Gaming in the house. Let's bring him out.
Yes, and
PapaBear.
Hey, everybody.
Perfect, because we got another hour to go, so this is perfect timing. What's
Absolutely.
going on?
How are you doing?
Not too bad. How's everyone doing?
Oh, we're doing well, my friend.
Two awesome
Excellent.
guest folks on the show today.
So hey, we asked Joe some questions. We're gonna just jump right in, man, and start hammering away on you if you're all right with that.
Let's do it.
crazy.
All right. So what does retro mean to you, sir? When you think of retro, what does it mean?
Retro means anything that requires a disc or a cartridge in terms of gaming. Anything like that is technically retro because you have to put effort in to use it. You can't just pick up a device and start playing or streaming. And I think if you put effort in, it means that you really enjoy it more, and therefore it's a retro experience. You don't have to do that anymore.
Fantastic, man. So another question that we asked Joe, I'd like to know, what got you into gaming, man? First game, first experience? Can you recall any of that?
I remember visiting a friend of my mother's, and her son had a Nintendo Entertainment System. And he introduced me to it with Super Mario, as I'm sure everybody thinks is, you know, the main game on that console. And he kept telling me, stand near the edge of that horizontal pipe there, and don't worry, you'll be fine. And every time I did that, a Goomba popped out and killed me. And I hated it. And I thought, why do people want to play this? It's ridiculous. But obviously, I realized you can jump, you can move around, you can interact with the environment. So from then on, I got a bit more intrigued. I realized this guy was just a bit of a pain in the butt. So I got my own one. A couple of years later, I think it may have been his actual old console that my mother bought me for a gift one day, and I just got hooked from that moment onwards, really.
Right on, man. So what was gaming like for you as a kid? Like, were you on the bus talking with your friends about cheat codes and stuff, or were you like Nintendo's the shit and Sega sucks? Or we had so many conversations on the bus.
You reminded me, we did have a sort of bus conversation where there's a competition who can find the most cheats. And it got to the stage where after school one day, you would pull out like 6 or 7 A4 printed sheets of cheat codes and say, look, these are all the cheat codes I have for this particular game. And it would be amazing to watch all of these people so dedicated that they would bring their own physical copies of cheat codes along just to prove a point, really. So it was ultimately that. And I think lots of conversations around the sort of PlayStation 1 or thereabouts, or the Nintendo 64 as well. General stuff like that. But I think it was a case of lots of bus conversations and just sort of proving who had the best console, really.
Yeah. I remember a lot of those conversations, man. I also remember, my brothers getting me killed all the time. I stopped listening to them a long time ago. They're like, hey, jump down there. You're going to get a free guy, man. Yeah, no, you get to play now. Thanks. Here, pass the controller. Oh, I used to get so angry at them. So did you ever do any of the light gun shooters? You got to have an old cart for that now, but I used to love those, man.
as in the duck hunt.
Yeah, Duck Hunt,
Yeah.
and then later, of course, you got with like the PlayStation, they released the Time Crisis with the big giant gun, and
Yeah. So I did the duck hunt. It was more sort of through a friend. I never had it myself, but I would go around specifically just to shoot those ducks. But I would enjoy the fact that you could just put the gun straight onto the screen and fire away at
go right up close.
CRT there.
That's what everybody did. Let's be
See?
real.
It's not cheating, Miss Tracey. You heard it
Nope.
from
Yeah.
Papa Bear. Absolutely. All right. So, Papa Bear, why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself and a little bit about the content you make and what you've been up to lately, man?
Okay. I create Google Stadia content pretty much exclusively, simply because the time Stadia came out, I had no devices capable of running any games whatsoever. And it was great. I could play any game, anytime on pretty much any device that I did have, regardless of the age of it and the performance of it. And ultimately, they got me thinking that cloud gaming is an incredible technology. And my background is in computer science, and I specialize in artificial intelligence. So again, that sort of all feeds in nicely to the same sort of field. And just looking at the way it's progressed, I mean, not many people covered it initially, and I've only been going for just about a year or so now, just under, I think. And I thought, why not? Let's do this. It was actually my wife's suggestion. She said to me, you enjoy it so much, why not give it a go? So here I am. Yeah, I think I tend to play a lot of Extraction for some reason. I always get drawn into that game, and I'm never the best either. So I tend to just sort of stick behind those who know what they're doing and follow along and just sort of get carried through the games.
I've had fun and died alongside you before, so it is.
You've also rescued me a bunch of times as well.
So it is
talking about Extraction. You talking about Extraction?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah. It's a fun game. It's punishing though. If you mess up, you mess up big time usually.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Well, alrighty. Let's jump back over. We're gonna do a few more of these. If I'm clicking on the right thing, I think I am. Boom. There we are.
All right, did we do Command and Conquer?
No, we have not.
Okay, so September 26th, 1996, we have Command and Conquer for the DOS.
Awesome.
Yes.
Awesome.
And it is a DOS game, so this is going to look ancient.
Dude.
It certainly is. The Jaggies are wonderful, though. It's when you know you're looking at quality. That's what I say.
We're talking floppy disk. This may have been a floppy disk game. Possibly not. It might have been CD.
I think this might have,
95. Yeah, it's probably.
I think it was a floppy disk.
Yeah.
Floppy or hard disk.
Yeah, either one.
Wow. Command and Conquer. Let's actually get to what the game looks like. Oh, FMV. Look at that.
Oh, man.
Look at that.
Wow. Oh, my. What the fuck just happened?
They were confused. That's all I'm saying.
Wow.
Oh, there's me working out.
That's amazing. I'm just going to let this play a minute.
Wow.
Interesting, man. Well, they're about to get attacked, I'm sure. Wow, look at that.
That's not bad for 95.
Now,
Is that Joe in
what I
uniform?
used to love.
This is the real graphics right here.
Yeah.
Right, man. It was all about making your box huge to get all your players and have them go to certain different areas.
A bunch of RTX or RTS.
Yeah, these actually was my first experience with PC gaming was the RTSs. Star Wars Battlefront, Starfield, Command and Conquer.
What were those ones, ogres or whatever, where you were fighting I forget, like orcs or something? It's not Orcs Must Die, but I can't remember what it was called. But I played a bunch of those games where you had to destroy their nests and take over the map and everything. Yeah. Command and Conquer was the first RTS I seen before StarCraft even. Wow, Squids, that's a shout, man.
Yeah, he's absolutely right. Get your resources, build your boot camps and train them, advance.
Absolutely.
Right, so next we have another DOS game, Wing Commander on September 27th,
I love
1990.
Wing Commander. I played the Wing Commander for hours.
I loved Wing Commander too, but this is This is different than the one with Mark Hamill in it. This is like the original before they like hired him or something.
Right.
Wing Commander for DOS, the first mission.
Kill the cats. Oh my God, this was so much fun.
So you're in your cockpit all the time.
Well, there was also a simulation where you could go and practice, and there would be the high scores. You'd be at the bar. So
I remembered having to click on people at the bar.
I'm getting so old, but I actually played this, and I remember going into the bar area. I did the simulation to practice.
Is that you, Ray? Is that you?
No, it looks like if you put some glasses on him, he looks more like you.
That is a nice mustache. That's all I'll say.
Dude, look at that hair.
I love how it bounces when he talks.
Yeah.
Yeah, it reminds me of the old LucasArts games a little bit.
I can't stop looking at the hair.
I can't believe the mustache.
Oh man, the missions.
There's the briefing. Here's the launch of the ship.
I thought this was so cool when I was playing this.
Oh, you even launched. Look at that.
Yeah. Dude, let me tell you, this game was ahead of its time. And then you got all the and then I love when the cat creatures would come up on the screen and talk smack.
Yeah. The cats. In the later games where they had Mark Hamill, those are the ones that I really got into. And they would literally, like, you'd go to shoot them and stuff, and their face would pop up on your monitor to the right as they're dying. It was pretty cool. It was really cool.
Yeah.
Some of the first RPG elements in some of these shooter games, too, or flying games.
Oh, man.
You had to make choices.
There they go. Yeah.
It reminds me of the old Star Trek, too. I used to like those. Wow, that's so old, man.
And I remember like, dude, check out the graphics, man. Look at the colors. Look at this.
They have different shades of the same color. That's amazing.
Yes. Yeah, because they had 2 or 3.
There's more than one shade of green.
That is amazing.
The next couple I threw in because we have a guest from the UK, I think, if I remember correctly.
Yes, we have Deadly Arts on the N64 on September 28th, 1998.
Wow.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Deadly Arts. I don't think I've ever played this one.
Bro, oh my God.
I'm almost sure I haven't played this one.
That's a Konami title. Okay.
Yeah.
Let's see.
My roommate was
I never played this.
So my roommate was huge. He had a collection of all the 90 fighters. And this was one that he had. He was in the Super Street Fighters, King of the Fighters.
So we have a question for Joe and PapaBear. What is your favorite retro game of all time? Like something you can just pick up and play no matter what.
Oh,
Go ahead, Joe.
So honestly, I'd have to go with Star Tropics. That's probably
Star Tropics.
Yeah, it's one of my favorite retro games.
Very popular game, folks. I remember reading it in the Electric Game Monthly mags and Game Pro mags.
This looks like a Virtua Fighter clone.
They were all clones.
Yeah, that's true. That is
clones.
true. That is true.
Yeah, they were all clones.
Some of these fighting games are really funny, though. They got weird characters and weird finishing moves.
Well, that was actually a judo move right there. Flipping
I see he knows his judo well. All right. Now, I haven't played this one neither.
All right. So, Donkey Kong on the Game Boy. Okay. On September 29th, 1994.
Yeah, I had never.
Game Boy.
Me neither. I was surprised it was even on there. In the first one, the first video
I'm always partial to games that come out on that day. You know and if you know, you know.
So I didn't know this was even out on Game Boy at all. But the first video I found on it was being played on the Super Game Boy. adapter for the SNES.
Yeah, that's why I put it on there so we could ask our UK guest about the Game Boy and UK games.
Yeah, what kind of handhelds did you guys play on? Starting with you, Papa Bear.
Mine was the Game Boy, the original one with the. I got the magnification illumination screen that you sort of clamped over it.
Yes.
Because that it helped you with that sort of 4% size increase of the screen there.
Was it like this, Papa Bear?
Yeah, that's awesome,
Oh yes.
Now you wouldn't think 4 like centimeters more screen would matter, but it did help.
It made it. I mean, it was a lot less
It
difficult
did.
to see, I must admit.
Yeah.
But yeah, Game Boy was my one.
Right on. And favorite retro title?
I have two. It's sort of a tie between RoboCop and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Mm.
And I think because when I got my NES system, those were two of the games that I got with it. And I remember playing them religiously. I did not stop until I did as much as I humanly could in one session, as obviously we alluded to earlier. I had to shut down and lose everything again. But those were the two I just kept going back to.
Right on. I know I've asked this before, but how about you, Miss Tracey? What's one of your favorite retro games?
Ocarina of Time is always hands down my favorite retro game, for sure. But I really did enjoy Mario 3 on the NES. I know a
All
lot
the
of people
Mario.
prefer the original Mario, but I preferred 3.
Yeah, I've got a few classics like Mike Tyson's Punch Out. I can jump into that at any time and jump back out. Bionic Commando. But I really like the original Ninja Turtles as well. It's hard as hell to complete on the NES, but I love that title.
Some classics in there real quick.
Yeah, absolutely.
There was a pizza parlor right in my neighborhood that I used to go to, and they had an arcade machine that had 1943 and 1942. And I don't know what about that game, but I used to love getting all the different weapons and having my airplane fly across the ships. That was an awesome game. Just wanted to add that.
Yeah, I love the sound effects for when your ship would flip over. Yeah. Yeah. Loved that. Absolutely loved that, man. But yeah, I didn't even know Donkey Kong was on the Game Boy. And Squid says he is still playing on his 3DS. So he's still rocking it out.
Squid, I'm on my 2DS.
Oh shoot!
All right, now do we skip some?
Now we do Ogre Battle. I don't think I showed it.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, we're on October 5th, 2000 for Ogre Battle 64.
I never played this one neither.
I
Did
have
you
no
play
idea
this,
what it
Ray?
is.
On the 64, did I play it? Nah, I don't remember playing it, but I do remember when it came out, and it was pretty cool reception, I think, when I was reading the magazines back in the day.
I'm getting like Final Fantasy vibes.
Yes,
Yeah.
Final Fantasy or
For sure.
Shining Force, Yeah. Definitely.
Even the UI uses the little hand.
Jesus, man, they're just walking up
Yeah.
and slapping them dragons, though.
Yeah.
It's your turn. Whoosh, ow!
This is going to make me go check this game out and maybe emulate it, man. I love games like this where it's, you got to take
The
your
public
turns and
execution.
Right.
oh no.
Just so you know, they got Octo Traveler 2 coming out, folks.
This does look right up my alley too. I hope he was just untying that guy. I don't know what
I don't know what just
Looked like he reached in his I don't know.
He was untying him.
Yeah. It looks cool though. It looks up my alley, man. I love little RPGs like this.
For sure.
And the art looks cool. Ogre Battle. I'll have to check that out, man, for the 64. Nice.
Did
Definitely.
we miss October? Did we miss the end of September, October, or are you
Yeah,
just
that's
out of
what I was
order?
saying. We missed a section.
Or did I
Jeff,
screw up?
I saw only 2 sections, so that's all I
There's
brought
only
up.
2 sections. Just go back to sleep, Jeff.
We're gonna continue. All right, we got October 6th, 2000, Oddworld, Abe's Odyssey.
Yes, this is a classic. Now,
Oh
I
my
do remember playing this, and I beat this title.
This is. You asked your favorite. This is tied. the Duke Nukem and Oddworld, and I've even played the new one. The developer sent me a key, so I've even played the new version that has come out. So
I've never
this
played
is
this.
one of my this is
Oh,
tied
this-
with Duke Nukem, my
you got it.
all-time favorite series.
You got to play some Oddworld.
Yeah, it's a very interesting like world, man, and there's comedy and there's it's just a very interesting atmosphere.
Sad, man.
Well, it is sad too. Abe doesn't get treated the best, does he, Ray?
No, he doesn't. Or his people.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, because in like the second one, you could kill a bunch of them or something.
Yeah.
I can't remember. There's like 3 of
Yeah, you
these
can
games.
kill them in the first one too if you're not careful.
Okay,
Yeah.
I knew the way you could end your own people,
Oh yeah,
but this
Oh,
dude
I
is
love
an
Abe.
amazing character though. Like,
yeah.
like this was one of those games that really pushed stuff forward, man. At least at the time. It doesn't look like it now,
This is incredible.
but it
The-
was. Yeah.
The new
think I
game
played
that
this
came
start
out
to
is
finish.
pretty good too.
It is really good.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, the cutscenes look way better than the game, of course, because it's the PlayStation, but very, very interesting and fun game.
Yeah, I love this series. It's my all-time favorite. That and
There
Duke.
we go. See, now you got your other characters around the screen, and you're trying to direct them and save them.
Yeah.
And you can maim them quite bad.
Quite easily.
Awesome platform game. Got a lot of stuff you gotta.
It was like
Jump
the
up
start
and
of puzzle platformers, you know, or not
Exactly.
the start, but like it was really when they started to come into their own.
Yeah, and it wasn't for like little kids either. I mean, it would obviously the art animation style would draw kids to it, but you had to actually know what you were doing. You know what I mean?
That's right.
Sure.
All right. October 7th, 1999, we have Marvel vs. Capcom, The Clash of Superheroes for the Dreamcast.
Absolutely. Right before we jump over to that, Joe, we want to thank you so much, man, for joining us today. I know that you got to go, man. Give yourself a shout out. Let everybody know where you're going to be, what you're going to be up to. And I'm going to coincidentally make you go full screen.
Okay, excellent.
Boom.
So if you're looking to find me, just head to downrangegames.com. You can find all my links for socials and everything there. In the future on the YouTubes here, we got a video dropping tomorrow about traveling with Google Stadia and playing Stadia at 30,000 feet. We'll do a live stream on Wednesday, which will talk more about my game development journey. And then make sure you tune in Friday at 10 o'clock as we're doing a charity streaming event for Caring with the Clouds. So check that out as well.
Well, awesome, man.
Awesome,
I'm
dude.
gonna remove
Good
that
to
just
have
for a
you here.
second. But yeah, I just want to thank you, man, for making the time and everything. And everybody be on the lookout for that 30,000 feet video. I think that's going to be very interesting, man. Playing cloud gaming, man, from a airplane's Wi-Fi. That sounds so fun.
Yeah, for sure, for sure.
And Joe is on on the only Stadia esports team. There is a game tonight, so keep an eye out for that.
See, I thought that was practice you were telling me we were doing tonight. We're not practicing. We're just playing.
Oh, it's a real game. It's a real game, buddy.
All right.
All right. Thank you so much. Y'all take care.
Absolutely. Thanks,
Bye.
Joe.
Bye, Jay.
All right. Now I gotta add this back to the screen. And Miss Tracey just told us about Marvel vs. Capcom. Ray, I know you've played this game, man, and it's on a underrated system, man. Dreamcast was beautiful,
Dude. The Marvel versus Capcom series. Oh my! It was like a dream come true because everybody loved Capcom and everybody, there's a lot of Marvel heads out there. So to have these guys fight one another was epic. And once again, my roommate, who's a huge, this was his thing, fighting games. He would be in there just doing what you doing, horses in the chat. We had other we would, like, our co-workers would come over. We would all be in the room, and I mean, it's a small room. We got chairs, we got 6 packs of beer, and we're just battling, fighting it out. So
this game. I don't know why I've got the Japanese version up, but
Well,
but this game,
my Dreamcast is Japanese. Just so you know, folks, I didn't have
Oh.
one, but I bought 2 Dreamcasts. I had an American Dreamcast and I had a Japanese Dreamcast. But then I got what was a loader, which I still have. So I have my Japanese.
oh, you
Dreamcast.
got to put the disc in first, and then
Yes.
Okay.
So I actually sold the American Dreamcast and kept my Japanese, but I just load my disc in there, put a game in there, and boom, I'm playing American and copied. Yes, that's right, folks. Copied. Well, don't suggest you guys do that.
It was the 90s.
It was the 90s. But this game was amazing, dude. This was that. Oh my!
Well, it's the only game, man, where you could like kick the shit out of somebody as Spider-Man or Captain America. I mean,
in a bathhouse.
yeah, absolutely.
Capcom, you had the
Mega Man.
Yeah. Come on.
Yeah, man, you could team up and have 2 people tagging in and out, 2 different health bars. Yeah. You had combos.
I'll be honest, I was horrible at this. My roommate, he was good. I used to get frustrated and just go into my room and close the door because I was pissed because he would beat my ass so bad.
Well, it was the combos, Ray. If you didn't know how to block or stop the combos, you just got your ass whooped till you're dead.
Couldn't do it. I was more of a Mortal Kombat.
Yeah.
That was my game.
What was your favorite Mortal Kombat, Ray?
It's always gonna have to probably be Mortal Kombat 2, man. Mortal Kombat 2.
Right on. I'm gonna say 3, and that's because of the combo system. You could do the same thing I was telling you about this game. My brother would just waylay me, man. I would be up in the air getting kicked around, and then I land, and then I'm getting punched in the face. It was over.
My favorite characters was Liu Kang and Sub-Zero. And Liu Kang, man, with those red and black pants and him doing the bicycle kick in the air and just oh my god.
How'd that go?
I can't do that
again. But he did. His feet would he'd kick you the shit out of you. Yeah. It was amazing. But yeah, I loved Marvel versus Capcom, and I agree with Mr. Bayram. Mr. Bayram says Marvel versus Capcom 2 was the best.
I agree with Paul.
Yep, absolutely, because they really dialed it in on that one, and they also expanded the roster. Like part 2, you got a lot of people to choose from. It was a lot of fun. I lost a lot of quarters in the arcade, and then I got my ass kicked at home quite a bit too. So I've still got PTSD from that.
Ooh, Test Drive 5.
Yes, for the PlayStation on October 8th, 2002.
I don't think I ever played this one neither.
You never played a Test Drive game?
I don't think so. Let me take a look at it. Maybe I have. I remember Driver, like that game.
Dude, PlayStation 2 had so many freaking car games. Need for Speed.
Yep.
Midnight
Rush.
Yeah.
What was the one where you had to crash? It was part of the game. I love that one.
Burnout was
Burnout. Yeah, Burnout Paradise or Burnout something.
Yeah.
Is all about the wreck. I loved that game because I wreck a lot.
There was a game called I think it was called The Getaway, and it was based in London, and that was the first time I'm like, what's wrong with the steering wheel?
Is that when you're driving the Mini Coopers?
It's on the wrong side of the part of the car. What the hell is wrong with the steering wheel? But folks, if you don't know, that's they say we have the steering wheel on the wrong side of the car. I mean, whatever country you're part of, but it was weird driving around on that side of the road.
Yeah, I think my absolute favorite driving game has to be Need for Speed Hot Pursuit.
Oh, classic.
That is my absolute favorite.
This is my absolute least favorite genre of games.
Driving?
I'm terrible at driving in games. I'm so bad.
I'm so bad at, I'm right with you. I'm not very great at racing games. And I tell you what, some of the James Bond games where every other mission was a racing level, I'm like, just go back to shooting. Come on.
Yes.
I would hate that shit.
It is so weird, but I remember the PlayStation 1 when they came out with Gran Turismo, and I would say, look at the graphics of these cars, and look, they got all the different car brands, and back then I thought that was amazing. But I like to give a shout out to Ridge Racer.
Yeah, Ridge Racer and Chariot Man. He's got a good one here too. Cruising USA. I played that in the arcade a bunch, man.
Good shout.
It was almost like a LAN. You had a few boxes. Sometimes you had 5, 7, all connected, and you were all on the same course. Amazing stuff.
And if you really want to go old school, pole position. Even had a cartoon. They had a pole position. Yes.
SPG, check the private chat for a sec.
Alrighty. Oh, my bad. I did mess up, didn't I, Jeff?
A little bit. That's okay. It was my fault. I did them as 3 separate tweets as opposed to, one tweet, 3, and 3 separate. I did them as 3 separate ones. So,
well, I don't know. For me, when I looked at your Twitter, Twitter like added an ad in between your things, so it looks like it was only 2, and then
that's why I didn't
by a thing.
That's why I didn't see it.
Yeah.
Yeah, wow. My bad. I had because I couldn't string them together because of I did them last night as opposed to this morning when I normally do them, and I just add 3 tweets together, so I had to do them as 3 separate ones. So, stupid Twitter.
Right on. Well, give me just a second and I'll have all these brought up. PapaBear, go ahead and tell us a little bit more about yourself, bro. What got you into content creation besides your wife? There had to be more than that. I mean, did you have the itch before, or what got you into the Stadia community as well?
I've always wondered about creating content, because I always watch people, always enjoy their content, and I had the same thought that most people probably have, which is, maybe no one's going to watch me play, but I thought about it and thought, hey, why not? It's good fun. At least you can have a chat with people that if they're watching, it means they want to see what you're doing. They're probably interested in the content, so therefore it'll be a good experience. And in terms of the Stadia community, it's quite clearly one of the strongest out there in terms of gaming communities generally. You can see that quite clearly on Twitter, for example. If you just search for the hashtag Stadia, you will find a bunch of positive stuff. Normally a few negative things, but then again, it's just a case of sort of people pointing out what Stadia isn't and what it doesn't do, which is a little bit pointless, really. So like saying this Ford doesn't drive as fast as a Ferrari, unfortunately. Well, what does it matter?
Right.
I like that.
I'm almost done. But yeah,
I say that a lot when people go, Stadia doesn't advertise, and I go, either does Lamborghini or Ferrari. Ever seen a Lamborghini ad?
There you go.
That's a good point.
And people are still buying them. So please explain that to me. That's what I ask people. I always
say different strokes for different folks. Everybody's got their own different, what's what or what is, but if you enjoy it, you love it, you like it, play it, enjoy it.
I mean, me and Ray definitely don't agree. I love Friday the 13th on the NES, and he hates that damn game. I loved it, man. That was one of my all-time favorites.
Well, try Slaughterhouse. That's a good Slaughterhouse.
I would not disagree with you there. Slaughterhouse is good. All right, I'm going to bring this last thing up here in 1 second. And here we are. All right, here's the new one.
So now we're back in September 30th, 1990. Excuse me. The Final Fantasy Legend for the Game Boy in the U.S.
Yes. Now, I loved Final Fantasy. I did it with the Game Boy thing up again. I don't know why I did that. That's all right. But I love Final Fantasy. I've never played this one, though. So I guess I'm missing out.
I didn't even know there was one on the old Game Boy.
Yeah, I mean, there's so much mechanics that go into these games. It's kind of interesting they did put it on.
Neither did I. That's why I threw it on the list, because I was like, Final Fantasy on the Game Boy?
There was, guys, Nintendo Game Boy had a lot of games.
They did, man. They made a lot of games. And I was into handhelds, but I wasn't in the back of the car with my Game Boy every day either. So played a hell of a lot of PSP though. But yeah, I did not know. Final Fantasy is an amazing series. I tell you that. And this next one is a favorite.
Oh yeah, Twisted Metal for the PlayStation on October 1st, 1995. That's for UK.
For the UK.
Absolutely. Twisted
And I
Metal.
knew PapaBear was going to be on, so I threw this UK, threw a couple of UK entries in.
Now, what is awesome, whenever
look at that. Bruce.
whenever we go to play Wreckfest, this is the game that I think of. Driving around, wrecking each other. Loved this title. Did you get down with this one, Ray?
Come on, dude. I played the crap out of this game. When
The clown car or the ice cream truck one?
I love Sweet Tooth. I did play Bruce. There was the red car, I think Crimson Red, and there was the biker, the heavy metal dude.
Meet your opponents.
That game, oh my god, that game was so. And you guys look at these graphics.
I know they're spoiled today, bro.
Let me tell you, back then I thought that was the you know what.
Well, you get absorbed into that game like it was real. And you look at it now and you're like, how could that even happen? You know, but
I mean, even the bullets, the smoke coming off the cars, I thought, man, in the fire, I thought, Thumper, oh man.
You're like, that looks real. Now it looks like just a puff of shit. Like,
did you used to think, how could this ever get any better?
Yes.
Yes.
No, when I played
when
I played Super Mario 64, it
That
blew
was-
my mind. Like,
yeah, that was what it was for me too. Being so 3D, like I couldn't
Yes.
believe it. They're never gonna have better graphics than this, I thought. And
You guys got to understand, though, man. Back then, it was cartridge, folks.
yeah,
We were
true.
playing cartridge games, and then we went to polygons. And I remember laughing at Kevin, like, Kevin, Sony's not going anywhere, bro. It's all about.
Oh, you were one of the Sony naysayers back in the day.
And he took me over the house. He said, sit down on the couch. He put in the disc, and we played a game called Battle. It was a fighting game called Battle to Cheatin', and I was sold right away. And then I did.
Well, that's funny.
I got my Sony PlayStation.
It's funny you mentioned that, Ray, because it's much like Stadia. You put somebody's hands on the controller and they realize there's not a box under your TV and they're blown away. Everybody that I've done that with has became a Stadia user. Everyone that I've actually handed a controller, had them sit down and they're like, wait, I don't have to pay nothing to buy a game at 1080. I'm like, nope.
You get your fingerprints on them. They break too easy. I'm like, dude, cartridge, you just blow, man. I like the blow. Wait a minute.
Oh, so you were afraid of the lack of blowing and the damage to the discs. You thought they would like use them a few times and then they'd stop loading.
Exactly. And I honestly didn't think, like, I'm like, dude, there's no way. And I'm like, Sony's known for Walkmans and radios. They'll never. And I became a believer that night.
Well, back in the day when Microsoft or when Sony first jumped in, and then when the Xbox first jumped in, people thought, well, this isn't going to go so well for them. And then now look at where they're at,
yeah.
Crash Bandicoot, so cool, dude.
Yeah, most definitely, man. But yeah, this is one of the classics that we love. We mention it probably once a day at when we're.
Now I gotta go play me some Twisted Metal tonight. I gotta play some Twisted Metal.
Qbert.
Now, most people probably played this in the arcade, I'm guessing, or on the Atari.
On October.
I hope Atari brings this back.
Well, you're absolutely right.
October 2nd, 2001 on the Macintosh.
I would love, Jeff, what you just said. I would love for Atari to. They probably don't even own Qbert anymore, to be honest. They probably don't. But it would be wonderful for them to make a newer, reimagined, a Qbert recharged. You know what I mean? I think that could be
a mobile game at least out of it.
Absolutely. Whoa, what is this? I did not bring up the right thing.
It's Jeff.
It's Applebert. Look at that.
What? Applebert?
It's called Applebert. Oh, no.
His teeth.
Yeah, man.
Jeff, what's wrong with your back, dude?
He got crushed by a ball. This is the wrong game.
This is not Qbert. That's
nope.
Qbert Light.
That's Bert, and is that a turd behind him?
Oh, yeah, he's modding it. He's modding the original Qbert. Here's the arcade. This is as close as we're getting to
There we
Cubert.
go.
Okay, all right.
That's a little better.
SPG, what the hell?
Applebert. I don't know. I can't read. It's not my fault.
Well, it was Cuba for the Mac, so maybe they
Yes.
put apples in it.
Macintosh, Apple, yeah.
Anyway, I had a lot of fun with
Logic, Jeff.
Cubert. I definitely lost some quarters on this fucker.
Arcade laundromat. When I lived in Maryland, on the East Coast, spent just like you quarters Cubert.
Ooh, Vigilante 8. I remember that one. Definitely.
Doesn't get the love that it should because of Twisted Metal, but
Yeah.
was good.
I would agree with that 100%. Rudig says, I see Stadia advertise a lot directly on their Chromebooks. I'd hope so. I mean, it's free advertising for them. Definitely do that.
But
yeah,
you're inclined, aren't you?
What's that?
If you buy a Chromebook, you're inclined to Google products, really, aren't you? So
absolutely.
All right, October 3rd, 1996, we have Monster Truck Madness for the US and Canada.
I never played this one, but maybe Ray has. He likes monster trucks.
Well, you know what?
I put this in because I know Ray and his son go to a lot of monster trucks. So.
I did. That's something when my son got like 8 or 9, I started taking him to the monster truck. So back then, I was into the RC cars, but no, I wasn't into the monster trucks until later. But still,
wow,
awesome.
That looks pretty darn solid, actually.
Bigfoot.
More solid than I thought it would look.
Bigfoot is retro, folks. Bigfoot been around.
Didn't they retire that thing already?
Dude, they got so many different versions of
those big trucks,
figures.
This reminds me of a game I used to play on PC called Insane, but spelled with a 1 and a 3 instead of an I and an E. It's like a smash 'em up. You'd select all different kinds of vehicles. My favorite was the Behemoth, and you bring everyone together in this sort of massive pit. And the aim was to just utterly destroy your vehicles. But I think the one problem was that the vehicles would never die, despite the bodies crumpling up to insane angles. So you couldn't actually drive the things anymore, but they would still keep making noise and trying to move.
Did you see that smoke come out the back? That is funny, man. It's amazing the little tricks they had with 2D to try to make it look more 3D when it clearly wasn't.
Destruction Derby.
A little bit. PapaBear, do you play Wreckfest at all? Because that is a real. It's real fun to drop in and jump in and smash some stuff.
Absolutely, my son loves it. He just says, "Get the biggest one and smash it. Get the bus." There's always the bus with him. No matter what you do, it's the bus.
Yep, that's Jeff's favorite.
Jeff's the bus. I hate the bus.
All right, the last one we have is October 4th, 2004, Tony Hawk's Underground 2 for the PlayStation 2.
Absolutely.
I put this on because I played this and just killed it. Just killed it.
Is that what you're saying?
When I played this on my retro stream a few weeks ago, that was me. This is you. Oh, you're showing my gameplay.
You killed it. You mean you made the game want to die, right?
Yes.
I hope so.
He put the action on life support. I saw him accidentally grind once.
I believe SPG was getting triggered in the chat.
I was like, just do a manual. Freaking do something.
Whoa.
That's a chainsaw.
Whoa.
What is this? Did I bring up Bert Apple or Applebert again? Oh, it's Bam.
Hello, butt nugget. You just call those guys hello butt nuggets.
There's Tony Hawk.
Oh, that's what I'm gonna call Ray from now on.
No,
a butt nugget?
No, you're not. Well, you live in Hamilton, right? Canada, right? Okay.
Jeff crashed and burned hard and gave up after 5 minutes. Tony Hawk. Well,
Jeff, they got you in the van, Jeff. I think that's Bam's.
Bam looks like a serial killer in this game.
Like
That's scary.
Yeah, that was Bam's dad.
Yeah, he used to beat the crap out of him.
Made that guy pee himself.
Yeah, he sure did. This is a raunchy game, I guess.
I never played this Tony Hawk. I played Tony Hawk like 3 Pro Skater. but not this one.
Yeah,
Let's see
I
what
played the
they're-
early ones too.
I like the one where they actually made a Jackass game that was kind of like Tony Hawk, where you had to like ride in golf carts and
Porta potties.
yeah. Well, I don't know about porta potties, but there was a Jackass game that I remember that was pretty gnarly, and but I liked the Tony Hawk that was the same way, where you had like missions to do. You'd go around the city that was like an open world, and you had objectives to do, and that's the one I liked.
It doesn't work anymore.
Why doesn't that guy have clothes?
That email doesn't work anymore.
Whoa!
Whoa,
You
Jeff.
guys is whitey tighties.
Jeff, somebody, let me tell you.
Oh, what was that? Phil.
So I will say, when we used to make a wheel like that back when I was younger, and it had stuff on there that you had to do.
There we go. But yeah, there was an open world. This is kind of like that a little bit. You'd have to tag and do all that stuff too. You'd have to get the letters and stuff. And
I miss my Veriflex board and my Vans.
He's not very good at graffiti.
Man, I wouldn't get on a skateboard at all. I'm way too old. If I fall, I will break everything.
You want to know a quick story? When I was 12, I was trying to show off, and I thought I'd try rollerblading on a skateboard, and I broke my arm.
Oh no! Yeah, I couldn't do it anyway, let alone add more wheels.
Did you entertain your audience?
Yeah, until they were like crying in the waiting room because they heard me yelling when they reset my arm.
Oh no!
Pretty sure that
They're
was me.
impressed with you, aren't they?
Guy, I never had a really bad break on my skateboard, but I did like skin. Like, oh my god!
You lose some layers of skin, Ray.
Oh yeah, elbows and knees.
I'm gonna look that game up real quick. Actually, let me remove this from the screen. I'm gonna look up that Jackass game that we talked about. I gotta show that one now.
I'd imagine that game's just like Wreckfest without the vehicles, right? Just use your bodies.
Yes, you did. You used your bodies as weapons, pretty much.
Destroy your body. There you go.
Absolutely. What am I doing? Okay. Bring this right up. Boom. It's for the PS2. Jackass the game. This was a wild one, man. I had a lot of fun playing this, but yeah, some of the missions were literally like just launch your body and try to hit as much stuff as you go, or in the shopping cart, or yeah.
What?
Yeah, come on.
This looks
This is a great game, man.
Wow.
Ooh.
And they're a bunch of like mini games and stuff.
Oh.
As well.
Chris Pontius looks the same, by the way.
Yes, he does.
Yes, he does.
Ageless.
Exactly. It's eternally.
A wee man.
man.
Ah! Whoa! That was raunchy. Oh, that killed him.
What system is this on?
PS2.
PS2. Okay.
Yeah, look at that, man. It's so much goofy fun. Oh, that swimming pool was empty.
Damn. Someone had to do like motion capture on some of those moves.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
You know they're happy to do it, don't you?
Yes, this is the one.
Yeah, I'll jump into an empty pool. Just let me
Check
do
this
that.
out, Papa Bear. This would be right up your alley, bro. Check this out.
What the hell?
Yeah, you are the Pachinko or whatever Pachinko. So fly 30 yards before the finish line. Finish with over 100,000.
So you're just diving into a canyon, basically.
You're getting kicked.
Whoa.
Yeah, and it shows breakages and stuff. You got to tilt the
nice.
controller to try to.
Oh my god.
Oh.
He didn't know, but he'd be dead.
Oh hell yeah, he'd be dead.
Dislocated right. Yeah, more like broke.
Shattered pelvis. Well, he's never
Broken
peeing
There we
again.
go.
Hey, but he landed in the water.
Is that water? Okay, good.
Maybe. But look, it gives you the
Looks like a
injury, and it
sheet of
shows.
steel.
Yeah, it shows how much your doctor bill would be. This game was incredible fun.
Favorite moment is when the guy took a little Hot Wheel car and he stuck it up his ass. Went to the doctor. Said, "Hey man, I was at a frat party, man, and my butt hurts and I don't know what's wrong." And so they did an X-ray.
Yeah.
And he said, "You have a car in your ass."
Yeah, he's like, "You need to go talk to roommates," and he's like, "No, wait, don't talk to no one. Hey, don't tell no one.
Don't tell no one."
That was amazing. But yeah, Jackass is an amazing little fun game, man. It's not a blockbuster by any means, but you will have more than a giggle throwing by your body down the hill and going in golf carts. And
you can buy it on Amazon for £40, brand new. There we go.
Oh, okay.
Woo. Oh, it held its value then, apparently.
Yeah. 27 reviews, positive. So there you go.
Uh-oh. Not even close, yo.
Not even close to the water.
Wow.
Ooh, he shattered a whole bunch of stuff. Testicle? Did you see that? I don't know how you
bruised
shatter.
it.
Yeah, I don't know how you shatter one, but wow.
He did it.
He did. He unlocked some stuff. But there is
I
so
saw the
many
Raven
little.
book.
Oh, there's so many, and it's just all about taking so much damage to your guy. It's look at this slingshot.
Death Sling 2000. Oh no!
I'm telling you, this
Don't
game.
do it.
Oh, did you see the dog dragging his butt?
Dog dragging his butt, yeah.
It landed in the pool.
Lucky he didn't land into that
So do you
grill.
lose points for a safe landing?
You would think so.
Yeah.
You know, they want you to clip the fence and start flipping faster and shit.
Yeah.
That's what it looks like.
Impale yourself on the way across.
That's Steve-O, it looks
Frickin'
like.
dog.
Yeah, that's so funny. Oh, and he missed it. Pow.
Oh.
He jammed
Broken
his
neck,
left finger.
jeez.
Oh.
Torn liver.
Torn liver.
Okay, well, my phone's at 7%. I have to go.
All righty, sir. Well, go ahead and give yourself a shout out, Jeff. We're about to shut down anyway. Let people hold on. Let me make you full screen.
Oh,
Please.
tomorrow
don't.
night. What day is it today? Yeah, tomorrow night, 6 p.m. instead of 8 p.m. is my Wreckfest stream. Moving it up 2 hours. And if you know, you know why I'm moving it up 2 hours. Only tomorrow. It's the only time I'm moving it. 6 p.m. Eastern. Wreckfest. Be there. Smash up some cars. This way, some of the UK people can join.
I'll be there.
Excellent. Excellent. Okay. Bye, everybody.
Hi, Jeff.
Bye, Jeff.
Bye,
Take
Jeff.
care. Don't work too hard.
Don't hear you, Stadia.
Phone's dead.
I was muted. Woo! Hey, and Jeff's still here. Boop. There we go. Anyway, Papa Bear Gaming, I'm so sorry, man. I was sleeping at the controls there for a minute. I didn't realize you were backstage for 10 or so minutes.
No worries at all. No worries.
I'm sitting there like, yo, dude.
I was just going to go check on you, too. And then I was like, oh, shit, he's here.
Oh,
Yeah,
no.
that was my bad. I'm so sorry. But thank you so much, man, for taking the time to join us today. Go ahead
been a pleasure.
and give yourself a shout out, man, as long as you want.
Okay. You can find me on YouTube, Papa Bear Gaming, all Stadia content. I love it. Feel free to join me anytime. I stream more or less every week. So come along, have a look, and enjoy yourselves.
Awesome, man. I so appreciate you making the time to join us. Ray, what are you going to be up to? Where can people find you, sir?
I am Ray 3473 the gaming sideboard. Tonight on Twitch TV, 10 p.m. Pacific time on Ray 3473 Twitch TV. I will be playing Shatterline, which is a free game, folks. Free game. I'm playing on GeForce now. Shout out to GeForce for the RTX 3080. Thank you. And then Monday, I'm doing some Far Cry 6. I have not beat that game. I need to finish that game. So I'll be streaming that tomorrow. And then also catch me with my good friend Rock, Four Scars Gaming, and SPG. We do Stadia Rock on Tuesdays. And then I do a sports show at night with Vet. And I'm going to leave it at that because I got too much stuff going on. Peace.
Right on. We're gonna jump over to Miz Tracey to find out what she's gonna be up to. But real quick, for everybody, just to give you a reminder, everybody's link is down in the description. If you could go and support these guys, it would be so amazing. PapaBear Gaming, Joe, I forget his new channel name.
Downrange Games.
Downrange Games. But all the links are in the description, including the hosts. Miss Tracey, where can people find you?
You can find me at twitch.tv/Miz Tracey, and I'm on basically every day except for Mondays and Wednesdays at 9:15 p.m. Central. I play a variety of games. Lately, I've been playing Grounded, Conan Exiles, 7 Days to Die, Ark, a little bit of Halo. This new game called Cult of the Lamb, which is really cute. And you can interact with Twitch chat with that one too. Just a variety of stuff. And I also play Tuesdays and Thursdays at 2:15, 2:30 Central.
Awesome. And of course, you can find me streaming Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays from 12 CST to 2 p.m. CST. And every Tuesday at 11 CST, I join Rock for the Stadia Rock show. So much fun. And then every other Sunday here at Retro Rewind. So thank all of you guys for making the time to participate in the chat and to come hang out with us. We certainly appreciate you guys. So thank you so very much. And we and the rest of the hosts will see you on the next one. Later, guys.
Bye, guys.
Bye, everyone.